loves, Lexie here, and today I have, I guess, an exciting video. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know how I started a series with Cargo saying like, oh, with this Blockbuster palette I got for Christmas, I was going to do a separate video for each eye look that the palette like gives you colors for. Why did I say colors like that? I'm sorry. But yeah, I decided since it takes a lot of editing to do all of that, and it's just really time consuming to do 3 separate videos, I'm just gonna put the last 3 looks in one and say 3 looks, 1 palette. So that's what I'm gonna do for this. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to the other ones, but it's just, I make a 20-minute long video and then I edit out like 5 minutes. I edit it to the point where it's 5 minutes long. And I mean, monetization for YouTube is more based on hours now and subscribers rather than just like how many views I get. So the longer the video, the better, but I still want to keep it in a nice range for you guys so that you don't get really bored with my video. So I think 15 minutes for the 3 looks would be perfect. If it does wind up going 20, I'm not going to worry about too much. But if it's over 20, then I'm obviously going to have to do some crazy editing to like try to get rid of 90 seconds or something. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. So I already did a look using the purple side, but I need to use the blue, the reddish side, and the green side. So first we're going to start off with this blue side. I'm really not looking forward to a look using the blue side because, well, honey, I don't wear blue eyeshadow that much, and they are really dark. So let's go ahead and just, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and just swatch the shades that we have here. So in the first row, we have very dark shades. Getting a little fearful here, guys. They're not even that pigmented. So that is our first row. It's basically all grays and then 1 blue. And that is basically how the entire blue section is. There's like all grays and blacks and then 1 blue. So that's fun, am I right? These swatches came out a little better because my hand is wet, but as you can see, there's 1 blue shade and the rest are all gray and black. So I guess with a very light hand, we're going to have to come up with something grayish with a tinge of blue somewhere, you know? So we'll figure this out. I have faith in us. I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the eyeshadow I have on right now, and then I will start getting into the blue shades. For each look, I'm going to prime my eyes first with the Bella Pierre foundation stick in light. I really don't like this as a foundation, but it is really, really nice as an eyeshadow primer. So I just rub a little bit on like that and look like a clown. But that's basically me all the time. Am I right? Then I wet my beauty blender. And now I'm going to blend out the primer, well, foundation. So we are going to set this first using a very fluffy brush, and we're probably going to use this the entirety of the video because I just really, really love this blush. This is the Icon shadow brush that comes with the Absolute New York Icon palettes. I have 4 of them, so I have 4 of these amazing brushes, and I might actually give a couple away to you guys because they're actually really, really good. So first I'm going to go into this shade at the very end over here, E10. If you don't have the shade, you can just follow along. I'm going to show you the shades before I use them. So E10 is like a banana-ish yellow. So it's a little bit yellow, but it's mainly just white. So what we're going to do is set our entire eye with that shade and do the same for the other. Okay, so to start smoking up the eye, I'm going to go in with my fluffy brush and go into D6 right here. And D6 is more of a warm toned gray, I would say, and we're going to start putting that into our crease just a little bit. All I really want to do is create a very fine looking shadow. I don't want it to be very dark because dark eyes don't typically look good on somebody with big eyes. So I tend to try to stay away from dark eyes just because it just makes me look so small and then it makes my face look disproportionate and everything. So it's just not the best look for me. Even though I am a sucker for like sultry, sexy eyes, I don't know, I love it. I really do. But I don't know that with all this going on, it's a little much for me. So I think what I'm going to go into next is this D8 shade right here. That is the only blue shade we really have in this palette. It is kind of a darker blue to go with the darker colors, and we're going to start that on the outer corner and start working that into the middle of our lid. So, okay, I'm experiencing a lot of fallout from this shadow. So I would definitely, if you're using this palette, do your face makeup afterwards and just do your eyes first. I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and take this all over the lid. I love how fluffy this brush is, but it actually blends things in too. And it's really easy to knock the shadows off of the bristles. I just kind of like run my finger over it and then that powder is gone. It doesn't really cling to them that much, which is always really nice when you're working with multiple colors and you want to use the same fluffy brush, because I don't have very many brushes, so that works perfectly for me, right? We are going to go into C5 right here, which is a kind of cooler tone dark gray color, as you can see me pointing to it. And we're going to take that right along the outer corner and kind of blend that into our crease, but mainly focus it on the outer corner. I feel like my face looks like a bruise. So to bring back that blue, we're going to take our finger into the blue shade again, and then we're just going to pat that onto the lid here. I said I wasn't going to do a dark eye, but it looks like I'm doing a dark eye anyway, just because the shadows are so dark, honestly. And you have to use so much of this blue to actually get a really nice pigment, which kind of sucks. Like, I've put a dent in this pan already. But, yeah. That's that so far, you know? So what we're going to do next is we're actually going to go ahead and highlight the inner corner. With doing that, I'm going to go into E6 with my finger right here. E6 is a goldeny sparkle shade, and I'm just going to take my finger and put it right on that inner corner. That is really not popping. Okay, it looks sparkly in the pan, but it does not look sparkly on my eyes. Kind of disheartened by that color, but we're going to go into the flatter side of this brush, and I'm going to go back into that blue shade that we've been working with so much and just run it right under the eye. To add that extra definition, I'm going to go back into C5, this dark gray shade here, and then do that right on the outer corner of the lower eye and kind of create like a faux-ish looking wing. Just a little bit. And that is the color combination and look I came up with for the blue side. I kind of like this. Like, it's kind of too dark for me, but the blue is really making my eyes look nice. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation, you know? So, I'm just going to go ahead and wipe this off, and then we're going to get into the next side. For this, I think I'm going to do the look on one eye, and then go ahead and do the next look on the other. Simply because my eyes are starting to get irritated from all the wiping. Even though I only wiped off makeup twice, it was just too much for my poor little eyeballs. So let's go ahead and just get started with this. I'm kind of very excited for this because this is all natural shades right here. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch them all on my hand, and then we can get started with this little naturals tutorial. Well, those are all the shades in the naturals section of this look, of this palette, and honestly, I think they're pretty nice. Also, I have some blotches up on my skin from wiping away my makeup. Maybe my skin doesn't like these, like, wipes. Honestly, I'm so sensitive, I wouldn't even doubt it. Like, honestly, my skin be crazy. So, let's go ahead and get into this. I feel like this is going to be a beautiful and natural look, so let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm actually going to set my eyes using this E5 shade right here, which is a nice peachy natural apricot color. So what I'm going to do is just take it over the lid a little bit by dabbing it in. This packs on the pigment a little bit more. And then along the rest of the eye, I'm just going to do this Alright, so we have a base. That is our apricot looking base. I like it so far. So let's go ahead and build on that. I'm going to go into E3 right here with my fluffy blending brush. This is a really nice, like, I don't know, it's a light brown shade. I wouldn't even call it medium, but it's perfect for transition. So what I'm going to do is just put that into my crease. What I'm thinking here is a really natural, nice eye to, like, you could go to work in this, you can work out in this, you can go to school in this, that kind of thing. So it's really just all about playing with shadows of the face and not really just the colors, you know. But also, I'm a pop of color girl, so we're probably going to add a pop of color somewhere, but yeah. Next, I'm going to go into F4 right here, which is more of a medium darker brown, and it has a little bit of sparkle to it, so I'm going to keep that closer to the actual lid part of the crease and just kind of deepen things up a little bit. Next, I'm going to do my pop. Ooh, I just dropped my brush. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do my pop of color. I'm going to go into E4 and then mix it a little bit with G2, which is more of a purple. So I'm just going to take them on both fingers, which that is them. And what we're going to do is pat the pinky one more towards the corner of the eye, and then pat the darker one on the center and outer edge of the eye. So that just has a very slight pop of pink in there, but it's something, you know, it's a little bit of pop, and I always thrive for those. And I found my brush. So then we're going to go into HI right here, high. So we're going to go into this one, which is a little bit of a darker brown, and we're just going to take that on the very, very outer corner. And that is just to add that definition. And then that is your natural's eye. Like, honestly, I would probably wear this anywhere. I'm just going to blend everything together real quick, make sure there's no, like, overlapping shades, and there you go. For the under eye, I want to go into F5 right here, which is a very, very light brown. Go in that with my flatter end of my brush, and just run that underneath the eye, just like so. And then there you have it. That is a very natural smoky eye that you can literally wear anywhere. So we're going to get on to our last portion of the palette, which is the green eye. And I know I'm going to look really weird because I'm going to have two colored eyes. You know what? I might like wipe it off and like do a natural eye over here real quick. So I don't know. We'll figure it out, you know. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do for this one is sit facing a different direction so that I don't mess with what you're seeing, so that you can see like what eye I'm working on and see pretty much only that eye and what I'm doing on that eye, you know? I don't know how to explain it. But first we're going to go ahead and swatch the green portion of this. I'm definitely going to add that green in there for pops of color, but it's mainly just naturals again. So we're going to do a natural eye with a pop of green, kind of like what we just did with the pop of pink. But I'm going to try to make it a little bit different so it doesn't seem so that I don't seem so bland, you know? I feel like this portion of the palette is a lot more exciting. Like, there's so much green color in there. So I'm already just like totally prepared to do this look. I don't really use green ever on my eyes. I'm kind of out of my element here, but you know, we're going to work with it and it's going to look nice in the end because I'm Lexie Love and I believe in myself. Self-confidence is the most important thing you can ever have for yourself, so remember that, guys. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set down the eye, and we're going to go into this banana cream shade that we did for our first look and just set the eye with that as well. So, am I at a good angle? Can you see me well? Yes. Okay, the eye is set, so what we're going to do is start building in our naturals. So we're going to go into this shade right here, which is a very light brown. So, yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to start blending that into our crease with our fluffy brush. So what I did was just pat it into the pan, and then I'm going to lightly just run it through my crease. just like so, kind of using circular motions as I blend it into the skin. And this is really just to create a transition kind of color, again, just like we did for this eye. So afterwards, we are going to go ahead and go into this E8 color here, which is kind of an army or a goose poop green, if you will. And we're going to take that on the fluffy blending brush as well, and we're going to start blending that into our crease here. So that really has that nice green punch. Now we're going to go into H2, which is that dark kind of sea-ish green almost kind of color. And then we're going to keep that very close to our crease. Wow, that is pigmented. So this is our eye so far, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actually going to try to do a cut crease. So using my finger, since I don't really have a brush, do I have a brush that would look good for that? I have this really dense detailing brush here, and I'm going to just swipe that along my foundation stick that I've been using to set my eyes. Just really fill my brush up with the product itself until, you know, you have the product. I have never done a cut crease, so let's enjoy this together. So I'm just going to try to carve out my eyelid. Oh my goodness. So what we're going to do with this cut crease here is we are going to go into the shade G6 right here, which is a very sparkly dark green. And what we're going to do with that is we are going to, actually no. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to go into G6 and put it on the outer corner, and then F8 and put it on the inner corner. G6 is kind of really close to that transition-y green shade we use in our crease, and then this is more of a highlight shade, so it's going to be in the inner corner. First, starting off with that darker shade, I'm going to put it on the outer corner. I'm just going to pat this on so that it really packs on the color. I packed that on pretty much until the center of my lid. I'm sorry my hair looks really weird right now. Like, honestly, I brushed it and everything. I don't know why it's doing that. So now we're going to go, we wash off our finger by just wiping it on a wipe, and then go ahead into that lighter color and start patting that on the inner corner like so. And the reason I did a cut crease, even though it's not really a cut crease, it did offer a base for my shadows to really pick up on the lid. I can just basically pat them on and it looks really good. So now that we are done with that, I'm going to go back with my brush and go back into the G6 shade that we put all over here. And I'm just going to pat that on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to wipe the brush off and then go into the F8 shade that we did in our inner corner and pat that onto the inner corner portion of the lash line. And that is the green look I came up with. I'm sorry I look really weird right now because I have two different colored eyes. But I mean, my eyes were getting kind of like ew because of all the wiping away stuff. I really like this green look. I think it came out like really awesome, and honestly, I love green shadows. Why don't I wear them more? Anyway, that is the end of my 3 looks 1 palette video, and I hope you really enjoyed this. I want to thank you for everybody who gives me so much support and everything, and I love you guys. And yeah, so that was the end of my video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like this video, and comment what was your favorite look out of the 3 I did today. So as always, I love you guys. Bye!